broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the broadcast here today, to the company webinar, company conference call. And today you're going to be, it's going to be hosted by myself. Okay. And I'm very excited as usual. I always say that I'm excited because I am. Why? Because every time that we're out there building the business, talking to people, there's a lot to be excited about. Let me go ahead and turn on my, oh no. I was going to turn on my camera, but I forgot this computer's camera's not working. So we're going to go ahead without that. So as I'm out there building a business, ladies and gentlemen, I realize how many things there is to be excited about. Just the amount of people that we're talking to, the response that we're getting from people, the excitement that is happening, especially with the fact that we are very, very close to the launch of Dinero and the ability to be able to sign up merchants. That's just extremely, extremely exciting. So, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead and get this training started. So today is going to be a little bit different. We usually do trainings on Wednesdays, but today the president, Mr. Pacheco, asked me to do this training here today. He's got some things with Dinero and with iTHRIVE that he has to take care of. So we wanted to make sure that we have a very, very special call and a very, very special training here today because of how close it is. We are very, very close to that starting line, which is to go out and sign up merchants, right? So we're in the beginning of something very, very special and powerful. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, what I recommend that you do is I'm going to talk a little bit about what's been going on with the company, and I'm going to get into a brief training. This training will not be as long as the trainings that I usually do, but I am going to get into a brief training because I just feel there's so much information that we've got to pass on, and we will have the highest trained people in the industry. That's my core belief. So with that said, go ahead and grab a notepad, go ahead and grab a pen, because I'm going to be sharing with you guys some numbers, right, that to me impacted me a great deal when I saw these numbers, and I think they'll impact you, and it's completely relevant to what's happening, to the opportunity that we have, to the timing that we've got as well here with iTHRIVE Network. So ladies and gentlemen, if you've got any people from your team that are not on this webinar right now, make sure you send some last minute text messages. Make sure that they get on, and make sure that that you share this information with them, because as we mentioned, it's very special times. So with that said, let me go and share my screen so you guys could see what I'm talking about. Okay. All right. Looks like you guys can see my screen now. Very well. Okay. Awesome. So, ladies and gentlemen, when I sat down with the founders of this company back in, I think it was February, and they shared with me what was going on. They shared with me what was going on with Dinero. I did not know what a big opportunity we had. I really didn't. I knew that we were going to mobile phones. There was some signs out there, but I didn't know exactly how big of a deal it was. I really didn't. I thought, okay, yeah, we're moving to mobile payments, but once again, I just didn't know, right? And like they say, you don't know what you don't know. Well, I certainly did not know what I did not know. But as I got involved, as I started doing some homework, I realized just how big of an opportunity that we have. And I feel, this is my personal opinion, I feel that the majority of the people, I'm out here building a big business. And let me see if I could, looks like my camera is indeed working. Let's see if this works here. Perfect. There we are. Awesome. So as I'm out here building the business, right, I've got over 20 directs in the business, right? Because the things that I talk about here in the trainings is stuff that I'm out on the field doing. I've got a tremendous sense of urgency because of what's happening, right? Now, one of the things that I notice as we're out there building is sometimes I sit down with a team member, and we're only about a month and a half in, and I've come to realize something last week, that one of the main reasons why a lot of people that are a part of the business still have not engaged to their potential. The reason why that hasn't happened is I've realized, and this is not for everybody, but this certainly is something that I've realized, is simply because they don't realize just what a huge opportunity it is. And by the way, excuse me here because I'm moving the camera out of the way so I can see the PowerPoint. I realize that most people just do not realize what a huge opportunity we've got in front of us. So when I sat down with a couple of people, and frankly, I said to them, I said, look, I don't think you realize just what an opportunity we've got here. Let me show you why I've got such an incredible sense of urgency. So I sit down with them and I show them, right? And when I've done that with a couple of people, then a light bulb goes off, right? They realize, okay, now I see why you're so excited. Now I see why you're working so hard. Now I see why you keep following up with me and wanting me to get engaged. And part of it is because I don't want people to miss out on. But nevertheless, there's always going to be people that miss out because you see, when a network marketing company, ladies and gentlemen, launches, right? When a network marketing company launches, there is always a sense of urgency because of placement, because it just launched, because, hey, get in early and whatnot. But see, that's not the case here. That's not the only thing here. Yeah, that is a part of it. But something that's even a bigger part of what we've got going on is there's a sense of urgency because of our core product, the dinero business solution, is something that's never been done before. The industry of merchant services does not offer what we offer. And so we are first to the market in an industry that is going through a paradigm shift, and we are the first ones through the door. I've never been a part of such an opportunity, and that's the reason why I want to have this sense of urgency, and I want to have this brief training. Right? Once again, we're not going to take a long time, but I do want to share. My job is to go out there and build a team, but at the same time, train as many people as we can to go out there and build a team, right? For those of you guys that follow me on Facebook, I did a training today that got a lot of very, very good responses. I recommend you see it. And it was basically lessons that I have learned from millionaire and billionaire mentors of mine of how to make $1 million income on a yearly basis, which is something I've done multiple times, right? So I highly encourage you guys to check out that video, because it directly connects with what we've got going on. So with that said, let me go and share some of these numbers that I wanted to share with you guys. Give me 1 second. Let's go and turn this PowerPoint on. Okay, so here's a question. Where do most people end up at the age of 65? So there was a study done many years ago of a graduating class, a college graduating class. And they followed this class for 40 years of their life till they were 65. Most of them graduated, they were around 25 years old, and they graduated from a university, and they followed them to see where they would be by the age of 65. So here's what the numbers look like, right? Out of the 100 college graduates, one of them ended up being wealthy. 1 out of 100, okay, college graduates, okay? 4 of them, 4%, ended up being financially stable. This means that they go into the retirement years and they did not depend on friends, on family members, or the government to take care of them. 5% were still working, okay? And we see this very often, right? We see this very often. One of my friends often mentions about, when you go to a Walmart, you often see people, right, of that age that are still working, right? And unfortunately, they're not working there most of the time because they want to. They're working there because, frankly, they don't have another option, right? That's 5%. 28%, we can't do nothing about that. 28% didn't make it, right? They did not get to the age of 65. 28% are dead, and then 62% are dead broke. Look at that number. Out of these 100 college graduates, 62% were dead broke. So the 28%, nobody has any control over that, right? When it's our time to go, it's our time to go. But every other part, the wealthy, the financially stable, the still working, or the dead broke, we do have some say in that. Absolutely. I believe that we are where we are right now because of the residual of the decisions that we have made in the past, right? It's, part of success in business and part of success in sports, because I've had the good fortune to be successful in sports and I've had the fortune to be successful in business. At the end of the day, what it boils down to is our decisions, and our decisions are created by our mindset, right? So there is some things that we've got to look at as far as what it takes to get to these other levels, right? And the problem and the solution are both in the mirror. I believe that the problem and the solution are both in the mirror. The person in the mirror is a problem. The reason why we don't have, or the reason why we do have. Either way, the problem and the solution are both in the mirror. So now let's look at the next slide, okay? Now, Why now is the time to create your own wealth? Why is it the time to create our own wealth and to have an incredible sense of urgency? Okay. Well, let's look at a couple of numbers. Okay. So these are some numbers from 1990 and from 2015. A 4-year college tuition in 1990 was $30,000. The average college tuition in 1990 was $30,408. Okay. 2015, $94,400. It tripled. As a matter of fact, it more than tripled. Just slightly more than tripled. What about the average home price? 101,000 versus 220,000. The average home price in America was 101,000 in 1990, and we're talking about what? 25 years later, more than doubled. Now, here's one thing I know: income did not more than double in that time. Okay, minimum wage didn't more than double. So, a gallon of gas was $1.12 versus $2.23. Cost of raising a child, $120,000 versus $245,000. Average new car, $9,432 versus $33,560. Now it's the average new car. When I saw these numbers, ladies and gentlemen, I realized, yes, that inflation number, which is what Mr. Josh Tolley talks about all the time. Those inflation numbers that they are talking about of 2 or 3% per year are not true, right? They're significantly higher than that. So before I even found iTHRIVE Network and the opportunity to market dinero, I knew that I was looking for something major. And I knew I had to get busy. I knew I had to get something with leverage to get paid off the efforts of other people. If I could train and help and develop other people, that I could earn a percentage of their efforts. Hence the network marketing industry. Now, even better, if I could find an incredible service that will appeal to a lot of people, well, you know what? I'm all in. Well, it turns out that I ended up finding both of those things, but I did not just find a service that appeals to a majority of people. I found a service that the world is going to be using in the next couple of years. And that's very exciting. That's extremely exciting. I got more than I bargained for. That is the reason why I've got an incredible sense of urgency to go out there and build something major here, okay? Now, the median income went from $52,000 to $55,000, okay? So imagine all of the expenses and then what happened to the median income, okay? So now, and this is what we call the motivation pyramid, okay? When we are building a business, ladies and gentlemen, there are 4 different types of people that we're going to run into as we're building a business, okay? As people are joining our business, as we're sitting down in front of prospects for our services and our opportunity, there's 4 different categories of people that we're going to run into. And it is very important that we understand not only what these categories are, but also how to deal with these people, right? This is a big part of building a big business because one of the things, for example, I'll give you my personal testimonial. When I was new in the industry and before I knew this information, I would spend a lot of time with the wrong people. And if you want to build a big business, you want to make sure that you invest the right amount of time with the right people, right? You want to make sure that your time management, that your time is spent well. So you want to have good time management, but see, we're dealing with people. So you've got to understand people, right? So we start off with the 27 percenters. 27% of the population are not going to be motivated. They're not motivated. They're not motivatable, right? I'm not sure if that's a word, but you get what I'm saying. 27% of the population are not motivated. If one of these people sneaks into a meeting, to an event of mine, as a presenter and as a guest, I'm always paying attention to the presentation, but at the same time, I'm paying attention to the reactions. I'm paying attention to the body language. If it's a home event, if it's a hotel event, if it's an office event, whatever the case may be, I'm paying attention to the body language, the presentation. I'm paying attention to the body language of the guest and the distributors. Now, if a 27%er were to happen to sneak into that presentation, what I personally do is I get them out of the presentation as soon as possible. Why? Because one rotten apple will spoil the rest. So you have to understand that out of every 100 people, roughly 27 of them are not going to be motivatable. Hence, they will also be some of the most negative people. Some of the people that have their arms crossed, their legs crossed, their eyes crossed, right? Very negative, very pessimistic, not open-minded at all. Here's how much time you spend with these people. 0 time. You spend 0 time with them. You thank them for their time and you send them on their way. Okay? For your notes, here's what I would recommend you do. Write this down. For your notes. Amateurs convince, professionals sort. Amateurs convince, professionals sort. When I was new, one thing that I would do very, very often is I would try to convince people. I would try to quote unquote close people. We're not closing anybody in this business. We're opening their business. Does that make sense? We're opening a relationship. We're opening a business. So one of the mistakes I would make in the beginning is I spent too much time with the wrong people, right? When it comes to prospecting, there's a concept of, spend 1 minute with 100 people, 1 minute each, instead of 100 minutes with one person. Then I started getting good at identifying the 27%. So I stopped wasting time with them. The less time I spend with them, the more time I spend with a quality prospect. 60% of the people are motivatable, meaning they can be motivated. These are great people. They can be motivated. These are people that you want to expose to the information, take them through the process to invite them and to get them to become a part of the organization or to be a customer. Then you got 10% are motivated. 10% of the population, 1 out of 10 people is motivated. They're self-motivated. You don't have to tell them to get on the training. You don't have to remind them to get to training. You don't have to remind them to show up to the event. You don't have to remind them to work hard for their goals or to write down their goals. They've got their goals written down and they're working the business to achieve those goals. They're going to be at the event. You can count on them to be there. 60%ers, however, going back to the 60%ers, are motivatable. That's what it says. They can be motivated. That's what it says, motivatable. Even though I don't think that's a word, but you get what I'm saying. The difference is prospects and people that join your business, the majority of the people in your business will be 60%ers. That means that they're motivatable. One moment they're motivated, the next moment, any excuse knocks them off course. One moment they're saying, we've got the best thing in the world. We're going to go out there and crush it. Come September 1st, I'm going to go. Here's the thing. Here's how I see September 1st, ladies and gentlemen. I see September 1st like January 1st. I see September 1st. I see that a lot of people look at September 1st the way a lot of people look at January 1st, which is what? Come January 1st, New Year's resolutions. I'm going to go out there and hit my goals. I'm going to get that raise. I'm going to start that business. I'm going to lose that weight. I'm going to join the gym. I'm going to get healthy. If it's that important, why don't you start it now? This is just my observation and my question. September 1st, we launch the Dinero Business Solution. Right now, more than ever before, is the best time to start building. You know what the 10%ers are doing right now? They're building a sales organization. See, I look at iTHRIVE Network. This is a hybrid network marketing company. This is an incredibly high-paying, high residual paying sales business, sales position with the ability to build a sales organization as big as you want to build it. Why do I say that? Because in traditional network marketing, first of all, sales are frowned upon, number one. Number two, you cannot make any real money in traditional network marketing. You cannot make any real money by selling, by simply offering the products and services that they offer. You cannot. It's impossible. It's not possible. You want to make a 6-figure income going and selling the latest CBD line or the latest weight loss line or the latest vitamin line or skincare line or travel line or Forex services? Not happening. I don't care. You can be the #1 network marketer that has ever walked the world. You will not make any real money by offering the services, but you can with iTHRIVE. What if you go out there and you bring on 10 businesses that are processing only $100,000 a month? You're at $1 million a month in processing. 0.75% of that, my friend, is $7,500 per month. Plus binary, you're really at about $100,000 a year residual income. In other words, like the kids like to say it, right? And some people will laugh at me for saying like the kids like to say it because I'm 36. In other words, we've got the deal. We've got an opportunity. Here's my question. Do you know of any people that are sharp or good salespeople or all of the above but don't like network marketing. Okay, I know some of you guys are saying, yes, I do. Awesome. Here's what I'll say to you. Here's what I say to them. Somebody says, JC, I don't like network marketing. I say, oh, I'm so glad you said that. This business is specifically designed for people that don't like network marketing. Really, why is that? Let me tell you why. Here's why. Because I've got an opportunity, John, that I can show you how to make a 6-figure and even a 7-figure residual income within the next 1 to 3 years without building a team, without showing up to a meeting, without calling your friends and family members. Now, John, if that's worth 15 minutes of your time, I've got 15 minutes of my time to give you. What do you say? The question, ladies and gentlemen, and we've got a lot of people here on the webinar, so interact with me on the chat. The question is, can you guys see the posture in my approach? Now, here's the deal. Most of you guys don't know me, right? You know, maybe half of you guys don't know me. So you don't know the type of results that I have or haven't had in the past. However, perception is reality. Remember this. Here's a keynote in training. Perception is reality. Perception, people's perception of you, of your confidence, of the way you carry yourself, of the way you look, right? Whether or not you're dressed sharp or not. People judge you right away. And people judge you on how you look, on how you carry yourself, on your confidence or lack of confidence. So when I approach people into this business, whether it's a new prospect or somebody in my team's prospect, when I sit down with them and they see the confidence in my voice, the confidence in my look, the confidence in the things I say, they don't really question it. They realize this guy believes in his company, in what he's doing and where they're going, and I don't want to miss out. Now, does that mean that everybody's going to feel that way? Absolutely not. See, there's a lot of old sayings in network marketing. Some of them are true, some of them are not. One of them is you can't say the right thing to the wrong person. I agree with that one. You cannot say the right thing to the wrong person. You cannot. Then they say you cannot say the wrong thing to the right person. That I don't agree with. You could say the wrong thing to the right person. You could have somebody that is motivated, that is excited and open, looking for an opportunity, but you could say the wrong thing and you lose them. Then somebody like Mr. Bishop Stewart, like Mr. Wences Navarro, like Mr. Thomas comes along, like Mrs. Lisa Padilla, like Mr. Rob Kenyon comes along and says the right thing to the right person and gets them to join their business. What am I saying? I'm saying all that to say this. You've got to get trained. You've got to work on yourself. You've got to have your specific skills, which are specific presentation skills, specific knowledge about what we offer, about our opportunity. You've also got to have some personal growth training on what we do, right? Adelita, you know that's right. I'm looking at the chat while I'm talking to you guys. You got to have some specific skills with what you are doing. Do you guys realize that confidence is something, it's a skill that you can develop? You can develop confidence. You know that there's people out there that are pathological liars. They'll say a lie so many times over and over and over that they end up believing it. In the word belief, believe, belief. In the word belief, look at the middle of that word. The middle of the word belief. What is in the middle of the word belief? What are 3 letters in the word belief? In the middle of it. Lie. Everett Soto said it. Lie. In the word belief, right smack in the middle is lie. See, when you say, I'm a part of the next billion-dollar company, and I am the next fill in the blank. To some people, you want to be a millionaire. Awesome. To some other people, right, they want to make $100,000 a year, and that's fine by them. To some people, they say, hey, I got a guy on my team. Sharp gentleman. He's 65. By October of next year, he's retired from the mortgage industry. He says to me, JC, I don't even want that much. I've got my nice retirement. I've got my girlfriend that lives in Mexico. I'm going to Mexico, retire in Mexico. My goal is to use this business to make an extra $5,000 a month. The $5,000 a month from this business plus my retirement is more than enough to live like a king in Mexico. Awesome. Awesome. So let's say your goal is to make $1 million. And the words that you say to yourself, this is what the 10 percenters do. They tell themselves truths that are currently lies. So for example, I'm so happy and grateful now that I am making $1 million. Now that I've got a team on my left and a team on my right producing $500,000 per week. Why? Because now you can buy the comp line at $50,000 per week on one business center. See, when you believe in these things that you're going to do in the beginning, when you say them and you know, this is what I'm going to do, your mind, your conscious mind is saying you're lying. You don't believe that. You're not going to do that. You don't have that. You're not making that. Be lie. You are saying a lie, but that you believe is going to be true. Now, when you couple that with action, when you listen to the right people, when you listen to the right information, you're getting the specific knowledge, you're working on yourself. That way you have that discipline that's required for success. You go out there and you crush it. That's when you start to go from the 60% bracket. And some people in this call may be on the 60% bracket. Some may be on the 10% bracket. Some may be on the 3% bracket. But nobody on this call is in the 27% bracket. You know why? I'll tell you why. 27 percenters would have never joined the business. 27 percenters, if they were on a call like this, 27 percenters would have found their way to a call or a training like this by accident. Okay? The fact that you are here is proof that you are not a 27 percenter, my friend. So congratulations for that. That's awesome. Okay? All right. So now getting back to this. 10 percenters don't worry about anybody else. 10 percenters say, I'm motivated. The calls are on Monday, Tuesdays, Wednesdays. For example, here's an announcement. This Wednesday coming up, there will be the call with Mr. Jason Thomas at 5 p.m. It's a training call on the Wealth Map Pro. Here's one of the specific skills that we've got to master promoting events. Tomorrow, we've got Mr. Bishop Stewart doing an incredible presentation. How many guests are you going to have on there? I've got one confirmed guest, a bunch of team members on there with guests of theirs, and I'm working on 3 more guests to get on the webinar. Okay? But I've got one confirmed as of right now. Okay? Now, I've also got people confirmed, however, for the Wednesday event, because Wednesday at my office in the city of Downey, California. So Wednesday is a 5 o'clock webinar training via the same link that's every Wednesday. Awesome. At 7 p.m., I'm going to be doing a business presentation in the city of Downey, California. Downey, California, I'm going to be doing a business presentation at 7 p.m. Open to anybody, okay? It will be a capacity room because we can only fit about 35 people. So I recommend you get here early because at 7 p.m. presentation, overview of iTHRIVE Network. We're going to go for about 30 to 40 minutes. Soon as that's done, we answer questions, sign people up, and we start what I call Eagle School training on how to build a successful 6- and 7-figure business. So we're going to be doing a training on recruiting, on team building, sponsoring, right? We're going to do a little bit of that. And also we're going to do a training on the compensation plan so people understand the compensation plan a little bit better. So I'm going to be drawing it on a whiteboard and everything, right? It's at my office, which I'm currently at right now. So the question is, who do you know in Southern California? Who do you know close to Los Angeles, downtown Los Angeles? Who do you know? Who do you know? Who do you know? And the question is, are you within a 2 to 3 to 4 hour drive of Southern California? If you are, I recommend you make it to that training. I recommend you have an incredible sense of urgency to make it to the training this Wednesday. Okay, I'm going to be training for a minimum of an hour and a half. So be prepared to be here from 7 to 9. But it's very powerful. Why? Because we are gearing up. And ladies and gentlemen, make no mistake about it. We've already got We started doing events every other week at the corporate office, every other Thursday. Now we've got teams. We've got Irvine, California, West Covina, California, and Downey, California. So we've got 3 different areas, probably about 20 to 30 miles away from each other. Before you know, we're going to be having two a weeks. Eventually, once we hit momentum, don't be surprised if we have 2 meetings a day. We are going to ramp things up. So the question is, do you want to be a part of it? So for those of you guys that are participating in the chat, first of all, thank you. Second of all, do you want to be a part of it? And if that is you, here's what I will start doing. I will start contacting my friends. I will start posting on my social media. Which one of my friends are in Southern California? Who do I know in Southern California? Start networking. Start getting in people's inboxes. Start spreading the word. Get people in front of the information, because if you get people in front of the information, those people, you can get some of those people to see the business. And if they see the business and they join the business, guess what? You just got a teammate out in California. So the question is, who do you know? 10%ers, that is the type of activity that they do. Very important for us to let you guys know what's going on, right? The question is, how many people on this chat want to be a 10%er? That's the question. How many people on the chat want to be a 10%er? Okay. Because if that's you and you want to be a 10%er, move this up here. Okay, good, better. Because if that's you and you want to be a 10%er, and I have to stand up. Being a 10%er, ladies and gentlemen, here, let me tell you what it takes to be a 10%er. It's a word that starts with a D. It's a word that starts with a D, and it's called a decision. It's all it takes is a decision. So here's a question. How many people are you talking to a day? How big is your list? How many people from your team did you promote to get on this training? How many people from your team are going to be on tomorrow's company webinar, and how many guests combined, including ourselves, are we going to have on that webinar? That is a question. Because see, a 10%er doesn't leave things to chance. Does that make sense? They are very intentional about what they do. So 10%er doesn't need to be reminded. They know that's what I'm going to be, and that's what it is. Now, the 3%er is a motivator. 3% of the people that join the business, 3% of the world are motivators. They're not only self-motivated, that's not enough to a 3%er. A 3%er is an absolute champion that impacts other people. See, there's a difference. There's people who are impacted by their environment. And then there are some people who impact their environment. They're not simply motivated, but they're so motivated. There's so much in action that they inspire other people. They motivate and inspire other people. And the main way that they do it is through their activities. Here's a tip. You want to build a big business. Here's how you do it. Watch this. Here's what you should be able to tell your team at all time. Watch me. Watch me. So I want you guys to participate even though I can't hear you. I want you to say, watch me. Watch me. Here's a question. I'm going to ask you guys a question. How many people on this call would like to have people in your team focused on the 2020 vision? All you got to do is type in me on the chat. How many people on this call, on this webinar, would like to have people in your organization focusing on the 2020 vision? 20 directs on the left, 20 directs on the right. How many people on here would like to have people recruiting 5 new people in the next 30 days? Show me in the chat. How many of you guys would like to have people recruiting 5 people in your group that recruit 5 new people in the next 30 days? How many people on this chat would like to have people in your organization be a product of the product and upgrade, if they're not already there, to the accelerator package? Awesome. Awesome. Here's how you do it. You do it first. Isn't that interesting? You want people to go and recruit 5 people minimum in the next 30 days. You go and recruit 5 new people. Go and talk to 50 to 100 people to get that done. Get on the training, apply the training, plan, do, review. Go and recruit 5 people. You want people on the $1,500 pack. you upgrade to the $1,500 pack if you're not already on there. If you're already on there, kudos to you. Congratulations. Right? How many people in this group will want your team to be on every single event? Be on every single event. That's why we say, watch me. That's when you say, here's my phone. Here's my phone. And let me show you the calls on my phone that I'm doing throughout the day, all day, every day, because I'm in constant action and I'm just calling people and I'm calling people and I'm calling people. Why? Because here's a question, 3 questions, write this down. Here's the 3 questions. Lead by example. Yes, lead by example and take advantage. Celia said that. Okay, that's right. Become and follow the leader, right? So here's the 3 questions. Number 1, write this down for your notes. I'm going to give you guys one of the biggest golden nuggets I ever received. Okay, 3 questions you should ask yourself every night. Question number 1, would I want to be sponsored by me? Question number 1 is, would I want to be sponsored by me? Question number 2 is, if my team did what I did today, how much closer to our goals would we be? Or you could switch that one up a little bit. If my team did what I did today, how much money would we make? Well, I'll give you guys an example. I did 3 presentations today, probably 30 to 40 calls. I got 1 upgrade from the $600 pack to the $1,500 pack, and I got 1 new person 3 levels deep in my organization to sign up on a $600 pack off of my personal activities today. So I got a couple people paid. Does that make sense? Then I got a bunch of people promoting to get on the calls. I made a minimum of 12 phone calls to people on my team to promote today's event and to promote Wednesday's opportunity night and training. And I got a bunch of confirmations of people that are showing up to the training. The question is, would I want people to do what I did? I can honestly say the answer to that is yes. Okay. That's right, Lloyd, you're absolutely right. Okay, being a doer, right? Being a hearer and a doer, right? So the point is, number 1, would I want to be sponsored by me? Would you join you is really the question. Would you join you? Would you like to be sponsored by somebody just like you? The second question is, if your team did what you did today, how much closer to your goals will you be? And question number 3 is what I ask myself every night. Do I deserve to sleep tonight based on my efforts today? In the good book, it says, the sleep of a laboring man is sweet. Do I deserve to sleep tonight based on my efforts? So when I go to sleep and I look at my wife's face and I look at my son's face, which, by the way, I have a bowl here. I've got my son and my wife, okay? My wife and my mother too, of course. When I look at them, I ask myself, do I deserve to sleep tonight? Did I do enough for them? Did I do enough for my team? Did I do enough for my family? I sure did. And if I did today what I was supposed to do today, I want to be tired at night. So I'm too busy during the day and too tired at night to worry. I pass all my worries to my Creator. I'm too busy during the day. I'm focused on the right activities, on inspiring people. See, how many people, and it's okay if you don't, how many people on this chat want to be a millionaire with this business? Please type in the chat if your goal is to be a millionaire. And once again, if you don't, that's perfectly fine. I don't define success or happiness by money. I define success by happiness and fulfillment and a relationship with my Creator, with my family, and all that stuff. But I do want to make many millions of dollars, many millions of dollars. See, so here's the thing. For those of you guys that want to be millionaires and multimillionaires and decamillionaires, okay, and beyond, don't want to become a millionaire for the money. Want to become a millionaire for the amount of people and lives you will impact and for the person you will become. The money is awesome. The time freedom is awesome. But do you realize that if you become a millionaire, when you become a millionaire with this business, do you realize that the person that you have to become a millionaire in this business, you have to grow? Do you realize how many people you have to help with our products and with our services? As customers, you had to help. You were a direct impact to helping so many people to, to get a better service solution, to eliminate chargebacks, to pay off their mortgage in a third of the time, to better their credit. Do you realize how many people you have to help and bless? And what about the people in your organization? How many people did you help move from poverty to wealth? Move from poverty to better. Retire parents, retire spouses. You impacted a lot of people. The moment you made a decision, I'm going to become a millionaire, that's a noble thing. It is noble, in my opinion. In my opinion, it is noble to become a millionaire because I'm going to impact so many people. And we've got the vehicle to do that with. But guess what? The majority of people, you got to stop doing 60% stuff and you got to go to 10% stuff in order. You got to pass through the 10% to get to the 3%. You got to get to motivated to where you're on it, to where you're talking to people on a daily basis. You're interacting with people on a daily basis. You are getting rejection on a daily basis. Welcome rejection. In your mind, there's got to be a switch that flips. Rejection is good. Yes, I got a lot of rejection today. That means that I'm doing the right things. That's when you do that, you go to another level. Not only will you get better because you're doing so much exposures, but the fact that you don't see rejection the way you used to, some people that would normally reject you will not reject you anymore. Why? Because they realize, this person's different. They believe. You've got to believe. But that's why you've got to learn this information that we're going to keep giving you. How many guys are liking this information I'm giving you right now? If you're liking this information, show me right now. So yes, and by the way, Lloyd, what I am saying is indeed the way to build wealth in this business is through helping other people. There's no other way. Even if you don't build a team, you could go out there and make $1 million income with this business. And by the way, FYI, I'm not making any income claims. I have no idea how hard you're going to work. Do we have that potential? Is that available in the compound? Absolutely. But we will get paid based on the activities and results that we get as individuals. I want to make that disclaimer. Okay. You can make $1 million in this business or more, or you can make $0 in this business or more. There is no guarantees in life, and there's no guarantees in this business. I want to make sure that we make that very clear. Okay. However, ladies and gentlemen, here's the thing. In the book, okay. I appreciate that, Andrea and Roxy. In the book, The Science of Getting Rich, it says, the poor don't need charity. They need inspiration. Give it to them by getting rich yourself. The poor do not need charity. They need inspiration. It says charity feeds them for a day, right? Feeds them for another day for them to live in poverty. Inspiration, give it to them by getting rich yourself. Not only that, how many more people could you help? My wife and I this weekend, right, we went to our church, to a new church actually, and somebody touched us about some orphans in another country. And she and I both sponsored, some kids. We have some other things that we, tithe and send money to. But we have a goal to sponsor a lot of kids, not only through us, but through our networks as well. So what if we're able to create over the next 5 years, 100 millionaires and a couple thousand people making a 6-figure income monthly? Can we as a collective group bless a bunch of people? Absolutely we can. Now, I'm going to just give you my take on myself when it pertains to business. I'm not telling any of you guys this. I'm telling you how I feel. When I don't get up in the morning and give it my absolute all, I feel like I am being selfish. I'm being selfish to my family. I'm being selfish to the people I can help in my team and the customers and the people that are impacted indirectly. And I'm also being selfish towards my creator. I believe that my gifts, my skills and talents are God's gift to me. And what I do with those skills and talents is my gift to God. So I got to go out every single day and I got to execute on those things. That's how I believe. So I am a motivator because I made a decision years ago to be a motivator. When I made that decision, I held myself to a different standard. My effort was another effort. My work ethic was another work ethic. When other people were stopping because they were tired, I was not stopping because guess what? The job wasn't done yet. I was tired, oftentimes more tired than they were, but guess what? The job wasn't done yet. So if the goal was 50 calls in a day, I'm tired, but those 50 calls aren't done, I'm going to keep going. It's uncomfortable, I'm going to keep going. Because see, when I'm going through that uncomfortable zone, now I realize I'm going in the right direction. Ladies and gentlemen, write this down for your notes. Our friends and family members will very often be some of the last people, will be some of the last people that support us. Not always, but very often in this industry. You will make money with strangers in this industry before you make money with friends and family members very often. Not always, but very often. That was the case with me. And that's something I've seen over and over. Why do I say that to people? I say that because I think it's so necessary to say that. I think people need to know that. I've literally seen people quit because friends and family didn't support them. And had they known this information, they probably wouldn't have quit. Very important to do that. All right, we're going to go to the next slide. Okay. Okay. So actually the first step, there's 3 steps, right? 3 steps on how to build what, there's actually more than that, right? But here we kind of dissect it, right? First one is you want to get into sales. The fact that we're in network marketing, we're in sales. Step number 2, you want to be an entrepreneur, okay? You guys all know the cash flow quadrant. You've got the employee, the self-employed, the business owner, and the investor. Ladies and gentlemen, you want to get on the right side of the quadrant. If you want financial freedom, if you want time freedom, if you want an unlimited income potential, you want to get on the right side of the quadrant, which is being a business owner, right? Now you can be a business owner and be an investor, right? Once you get that money coming in and you start getting those results, right? So you want to make sure that you're an entrepreneur, right? The next one is you want to choose a right industry, right? So here's the situation. Network marketing 2.0 is what we've got. Why do I say network marketing 2.0? Well, I say network marketing 2.0 simply because you can make a very serious income. I mean, I say this all the time. You can make a very serious income without ever building a team. That does not exist in traditional network marketing. In traditional network marketing, once again, you got to build a huge team. That's not the case here. So this is network marketing 2.0. Secondly, we're in the mobile payment solution, merchant services. What we have does not exist. That's huge. Not only do we have does not exist, but in the next 3 to 5 years, I honestly believe everybody is going to be paying with their mobile phones. What does that say? Opportunity. Massive opportunity. Okay. In 3 to 5 years, the world is going to be paying this way. And we have the number one solution for that problem with our flagship product. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've got an incredible opportunity. We are about a week away from launching. I'm going to give you some homework and a sense of urgency. The first homework I'm going to give you is for you to develop a sense of urgency today. Write this down for your notes. TNT. TNT. That means today, not tomorrow. You want to have a sense of urgency today. You ever see the movie Rocky 3? I'm a huge boxing fan and anything that has to do with combat sports. Kickboxing, karate, boxing, all, MMA, all that. In Rocky 3, there's a scene where Rocky is training, right? He lost. And there's a scene where Rocky is training, okay? And when he's training, he lost to his opponent. Then he went back and he started training with Apollo Creed. For those of you guys that saw it, you know what I'm talking about. And when he started training with him, he was slacking off. He was doubting himself. And so they ask him, what's wrong, Rock? And Rocky says, tomorrow. Like we'll pick it up tomorrow. I'll try harder tomorrow. And Apollo screams at him and it echoes. He says, there is no tomorrow. He screams at the top of his lungs and it echoes. There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. Winners, 3%ers and 10%ers have that philosophy. There is no tomorrow. There is today. Nothing, tomorrow's not promised. We've only got today. And when tomorrow comes, it will be today. Tomorrow always came today. Yesterday was tomorrow, the day before yesterday, wasn't it? But when yesterday came to be, it was today. So act as if today. The world is going, right? The world is going. So what you want to do is you want to make sure, okay, that you take the initiative today. So the first homework is take the initiative and have a sense of urgency. Number 2 is this. Make a list of at least 100 contacts. Basics in network marketing. Start with your phone and your social media profiles. Make a list of as many people as you can and make a minimum of 10 phone calls between now and tomorrow to get people on tomorrow's webinar. If you're within driving distance of Southern California, and by that I mean anywhere from 2 to 5 hour distance, make it to the event. My recommendation is make it to the event on Wednesday. It's going to be an incredible training. We're going to start doing a lot more live trainings and even more trainings online. We're very close to having the system built out for trainings, and it's always going to continue to get better. Okay. If you guys like this information, make sure that your team is on it, right? Make sure that you share this information. Remember, iThriveNetwork.net/replays, where you can find all of these replays. Okay, guys, make sure that you are watching these trainings over and over, but don't confuse trainings with activity. We've got, what is the activity that we get paid to do in this business? To expose people to this business, to contact people and to watch this business. So anyways, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys enjoyed this training. Okay, let's make sure we promote tomorrow's webinar at 5 p.m. And then there's a very, very special training being done at 5 p.m. on Wednesday with Mr. Jason Thomas on the Wealth Map Pro. You want to make sure you get as many people from your team and even some key prospects. I know that I'm going to have a couple of real estate prospects to watch that training to see how it works because I want to get them on board and they're not on board yet. So anyways, guys, thank you very much. Have a good day. I'll see you guys at the next event. Bye-bye.